We did not complete all the lessons last time in art school. So here we go. We're going to continue. It's the prof welcoming us back. Tell me about the assignment. That's right. My earliest memory. Now, if you forget, the professor here is an AI, which is very advanced, which means it knows all about art. So, let's see, my earliest memory. So we got the... Let me remind myself of these brushes. We got the thin line. That's an eraser. We got the thick line. We got the squiggly line. We got square brush. We got sort of this airbrushy particle looking thing. We got the paint bucket. We got some watercolors going on. We got sort of like a what do you call that? It has like a little bit of a drop shadow on it, giving it a three-dimensional look. And we have shapes that we can fill in with. And also we have the text tool. My earliest memory. I did try to give some thought to that, but I wonder how good I could actually draw it. Like, what if I try a little bit of painting instead of the line drawings that we've been doing? I don't know how good this is, though. No, I don't think that's gonna work. I can't control this. Oh. I can't control the size of the brush, you see. At least I don't think you can. It doesn't seem like you can. It seems like you only have the one size available. Man, what do I want to draw here? Like, I kind of vaguely remember, but I feel like I can't really draw an action pose here. I don't have any reference in front of me, so I'm just gonna have to try to... Is this about... How is that? That might be... something like that. I mean, I kind of wanted to draw with some motion, but I can't like, maybe like the paw would be like up here, kind of like and like I was kind of the first thing I was trying to draw was like a one that was further away, because the memory... Okay, so the memory in particular was my parents getting this dog. And when I first saw the dog, it was behind this fence. And the action shot that I was going to draw was the dog was like running and jumping all around and was extremely energetic. And I'm not... I don't know if I can really just draw the action shot like that. So here's like a little bit of a close-up, kind of vague. Well, I guess that makes sense since it's the earliest memory. And I mentioned that I don't know how old I was at that point in time, but I did mention to my parents one time that I remembered picking up this dog, and they seemed surprised that I was able to remember that. So I think I must have been like maybe still young enough that I was being carried. Because they seemed to be surprised that I would actually be able to remember when we picked up this dog. It was a yellow lab, which that's why I was coloring it yellow here. That's the reason for that. And I guess that's probably the earliest memory. Probably. I got an A. The dog got an A. 2 still lives on top of each other. Still lives? Reticulating still lives. They have to... Oh, cutscene. We're getting into cutscene.
That was such a hard island. It truly made me think. And I really come through from this. This is so
Froshmin is questioning whether or not he really wants to do this. Froshmin was so sure about going to art school and becoming a professional artist, but now is wondering if maybe this is the route they need to go. Or maybe they were wrong and they need to just find something else to do in their life. I mean, that can happen. Happens to all of us, where we might be so positive about what we wanted to do with our lives and our career, and then we realize, oh wait, maybe I don't really want to do this, or maybe I'm not cut out for it. But if that's the case, what am I going to do? And then, you know, hopefully you come up with an answer, but maybe you won't. Maybe with your dreams dashed, you just never were able to come up with alternate dreams. I have to draw 2 still lives on top of each other. Still lifes. Sorry. Where for drawing still lifes. Well, I mean, like, you know, here's a thing that we can use as like you know, here's a thing we can draw. Here's like, you know, it's a tree. I just realized that my colors are different. They are indeed different. Maybe we can like draw a tree. This brush is like too thick, really, for the tree. Well, like I could like probably just get like this and just like draw some accents around the edges, you know. I don't really... I mean, it's not pink at all, or like blue or purple, so not really other colors I could use for shading or highlighting here. If I wanted to draw something else on top... Is there like a little tunnel here? Eh, sort of. I'm sure there are other tools around campus that we have not picked up as of yet. Like this one. Okay. I got another color. It is blue. I got blue. I mean, that could work. as like a highlight color for the tree. Or like more like a shading color for the tree. And, well, I mean, maybe what we could do here is that the second still life that's on top of the first still life is, you know, pair of googly eyes. You know, maybe we could just, maybe that's good. We could do it. We could do it that way. And here's like a little background, you know, just to give you some, you know, context as to what the environment is like. And like there's like a bunch of particles flying in the air. As they do, you know. As they do. Right, you know, it's okay. It's probably good enough to hand in. What? I got an F on that, but line work and approach were so good. Well, I mean, I still had that in the clipboard. There we go. You just had to think about it a little bit. You know, if your first opinion is not necessarily the correct one, draw something from the top down. Just anything at all, just as long as you're drawing it from the top down. Okay. So... And, would you be able to see anything else there? Like, maybe we could get this thin line. And here are, like, the shoulders. And, like, here's the line representing the bag. Right? And then... here's an arm. Like, then you can sort of see, like, the notebook being held here. Right? And then... here's the environment that Froshmin is standing in. I do like how all the tools and such have their own specific... sound effects, so you know which one you're using. And like maybe he's casting a shadow. You know, like that. And there we go. We drew a real-life scene as seen from the top down. Guess we cannot go in there like that. Well, there's always the option of just dropping. And then apparently that also works to hand in our stuff. I don't know how my individual scores are so high, yet the total is so low. Draw something ahead of its time. Ahead of its time, you say? Oh, did not mean to actually go into the door. But you might say that handing in a blank canvas is ahead of its time. Maybe the professor just can't appreciate this level of expression. Okay, so ahead... Ahead of its time... How would we... I don't actually have any reference in front of me. So I can't really get... I'm sure I am not going to get a good resemblance here. Kind of want to draw some, like, messy, longish hair, you know? We want to make sure that we get, like, yeah, like there's the neck. Like he's going to be wearing like a tank top, right? Exposed shoulders. So let's like fill in the tank top there, kinda. Some lines on lines on the neck. Let's make him mad. What's he going to be mad about? You know, we're going to see in a bit. This really does not look like any human being. If I had reference in front of me or, like, you know, better tools, then, you know, maybe it might actually look like the person that I'm thinking of. As it is, it's not really resembling him. Maybe we need like some prominent cheekbones and like a furrowed forehead. I'm not really getting the impression of wrinkles here. He's a pretty wrinkly man. Maybe I should narrow the jaw. Add some wrinkles by the eyes. Just like a lot of wrinkly lines all around. Some like hair. Just like strands of hair. All like he's actually looking kind of cooler than I'm thinking about. Yeah, that it really is not looking like him at all. But I think you will understand who this is when we illustrate why he is so mad. Let's see. That's too thick. That is too thick. He is very angry about corruption and fraud and secrets. at the highest levels of government and corporations. Like I can't. I'm just not good at drawing his likeness in this time and place. But of course, this is the filmmaker, auteur of our times, Neil Breen. But the professor appreciates it. Like, I should have drawn him with all of his cell phones and laptops, it's true. Draw something I drew in an earlier assignment, but from a different angle. Okay. So I guess we could do, like... And then... And then sort of like... And kind of... Like this... And kind of... Like this... And, like over here's his wife. It's also, like, doing the same pose. And I don't have any red, so I'm gonna have to like draw some pink on her back to represent the gunshot. Then we're going to draw some water. So, I mean, I probably don't even have to mention it to you, but this is the iconic scene from Neil Breen's Double Down, in which his wife is assassinated, and Neil, in his grief, floats face down in the pool with her, both of them naked, of course. So this is Neil Breen from a different angle, different perspective. Gotta be. Draw 3 things that are opposites of each other. So all 3 have to be opposites. So 3 objects, and each of them... I mean, that's actually just a very... it's a very easy one, isn't it? It's especially simple, it seems. Yeah, there you go. So, draw it like this. It represents the circle of life. Three opposites that are constantly fighting each other, yet no one winning. Yeah, that's right. That's an A drawing right there. Very slowly and deliberately. Okay. You didn't say what to draw of... So... There we go. You can really capture the despair in Sonic's face as he is forced to go against his very nature. Draw the right thing. Okay, so that would mean... the right thing. Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That is indeed what it wants me to draw. Well, I seem to have run out of space. But, you know, hopefully that'll be fine. Where did I come out of? Is there a door here? I completely disagree. I think that this is the only possible interpretation. There we go. There are still three more brushes somewhere on the campus. I've not seen them, though. Draw a plant. feel like I've been on all the islands at this point on the campus. But I haven't. But I have not gotten those last 3 brushes. Just having a look from above to see if anything stands out to me. Some of the islands are large, but I've been on these large islands. Some of them are small, like the checkerboard island down there, but I know I've been on that. This must be some small icon somewhere around that I just happened to miss as I've been exploring and walking. I mean, who knows if those remaining brushes would even be all that helpful to me. But I feel like I should get all of the tools that would be possible to get to unlock my true artistic power. But looking down from above, I'm not seeing those remaining brushes. Well, anyway, draw a plant, huh? You see, this is in professional art, this is what they call hatching. This sort of shading is hatching. And if you want to be fancy, you can also like do the cross hatching, where you go against it, and it's like this. And now you are shading like a professional. Now you're doing it. And this is right here, what I'm doing here, this is what they call symbolism. Because I'm drawing a symbol. Now, you might not know this, but if you draw symbolism in your art, that makes it fine art. That people will like look at and say, this is thought-provoking. See, the professor understands. The professor understands the symbolism involved here. Yes, I see. Let's see. Is your mind blown? Well, I mean, as we know, a true masterpiece can never be appreciated in its own time. So really, the fact that I got a D on this means that I succeeded. I actually missed the last brush, last stroke. If two of my friends had a baby, okay? There. It's a baby. Look, babies look like babies. They really don't look like anything else. If you see a baby, it looks like a baby. Like, if you look at a baby and say, that doesn't look like a baby, that doesn't happen. Because babies look like babies, and they really don't look like anything else. Draw the last person. I said, I love you too. Oof. Well, I can't help you with that. Look, I will add something here if it makes you feel better. Invent a food. All right. What would be a good food? Let's see. Invent a okay. Well, I don't... There's always the possibility that this might already exist. There is that possibility. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but we'll just try it and see how it goes. So this is ultra deep dish pizza. It's kind of like a cake in size, but pizza. I don't have the necessary colors to really render this properly, but it's like you make a cake, and okay, let me just like draw like a little cross section here. Like this crust is, at first the crust is like hollow, like this, right? And then like all this is cheese. Like maybe you might also put some pepperonis or some such in the cheese, but most of it is just, it's like a cylinder of dough full of cheese. You understand? You get the idea. The professor does not appreciate my cheese idea, but Professor, the assignment was to invent a food, and I think I did. It doesn't matter if you approve of the food, Professor, as long as I actually did invent one. So I don't really think you have the capability of giving this a failing grade if this really doesn't exist. Professor still does not approve of this. All right, we'll do what the professor. We know what the professor likes. The professor likes us to like put in some background detail. Professor really likes that. It's a small touch, but I mean, if that's what the professor wants. Yeah, there we go. What did I dream about last night? Or 2 nights ago? Huh. My last dream, you say? So the problem with this sort of question is that my dreams tend to not really be coherent in any way. Like, it's not like I dreamt about something, but maybe I might remember just, like, a very small part of it that doesn't really mean anything. But as far as a recent dream, I can't think of dreaming recently. Like when I don't remember dreaming last night or 2 nights ago. Or what would have been the last dream that I had. Nothing comes to mind, really. I don't know when the last time was I actually had a dream. When was the last time I had a dream? I mean, I guess it's been long enough that I don't really remember. Like, I can't really think of any recent dreams. Well, this is not a recent dream. I'm pretty sure I probably mentioned this one, but, but years and years ago, a dream that I would sometimes have would be... Let's see. Where I would be driving. So let's, like, draw the facsimile of a car. Just sort of something car-like. Enough to recognize that it is a car. That's close enough to the first car I had, I guess. Close enough. And I'm driving on a road, and then it stops being a road at some point. And it becomes a railroad track. And so it's like 2 tracks. And it's like you have like 1 track under each row of wheels. And like below it is just like a bottomless void. And it's also night. So it's also very dark above. And I'm trying to, like, just creep along very slowly along this railroad track above the bottomless void. I don't really remember much else about it, but I do remember this. Like I said, my dreams don't really have stories or anything. They're not coherent or anything. It's just, I remember doing this. I don't know why or how anything might have ended up. I guess my dream is a bee. Draw something I've heard of, but never seen. Uh-oh. Cutscene. Well, I mean, I guess we're making something tangential to art. I don't know about the smarter part. but something I've heard of, but have never seen. I mean, I assume it must be an object that I must think about, because trying to think of a concept seems like it would be difficult to draw. But what might there be that I would have heard of, but never actually seen? And if I can think of something, how would I go about drawing that? Something I've heard of, but never seen. And I assume that also seeing things in photos or videos, that wouldn't count either, because now I would have seen the thing, and I know what it looks like. It would have to be something that I might have heard of, but have never actually seen or have any visual conception of any in any way. But what could such a thing be? How would you draw something that you have no visual conception of? Such as if you wanted to draw, well, something that's not visual at all, like, say, wind, you know? You can see wind pushing things around, but you can't actually see the wind itself. I mean, I guess you could form it like a tornado or something, and you've seen that. So let's just say air in general. How would you draw air? How would you draw the sense of smell? How would you draw sound that you hear? Like, if we wanted to draw the music that we're hearing now, how would you draw such a thing? How do you have a visual conception of something that you have no visual conception of? I mean, technically, I guess you never see yourself. You might see yourself in the mirror, or you might see yourself in a picture or on a video, but you can never directly look at yourself. I guess that could be an idea. wonder if there could be any power-ups in those clouds. Well, I don't know if it works that way. I can't stand on this. Does the thing that you've heard of but never seen, does it have to be real? Certainly, you've heard of things that aren't real. Many people believe in things that aren't real. But of course, if something's not real, you probably haven't seen it. It's a curious thing, something that I've heard of, but never seen. What could such a thing be? Oh, well, I guess in the, well, no, I guess not. There are many things that we hear of that we never actually see directly, but we are shown a visual representation of what that might be. I was thinking that something that, you know, we've heard a lot of over the past few months is that old COVID-19, but we haven't seen it. But no, that's not true. We see visual representations of that all the time. We know what it looks like, even if maybe we have not seen it ourselves. So no, we do know what that looks like. But something that I heard of, but I've never seen. Like if I were to draw it, it would just be, you know, it would just be like it would just be the representation that I have been seeing, you know? Does it actually look like this? Well, I mean, not exactly, but this is what it's usually represented as. But I haven't actually seen it for myself. But maybe the thing that I haven't seen is the, maybe the, what haven't I seen? Well, maybe the thing I haven't seen is the pentagram that's on it, because they come, that's right, if they haven't shown you the actual thing, because if you did, you would see the pentagram that is on each virus cell. And okay, here's it. You would also see that it in like its little things here, it's holding like a microscopic cell phone, and it's saying, so there you go. That's what the media is actually not showing you. That's what they're holding back from the people and not informing us of the truth behind the COVID. The professor enjoys the students getting political. They don't want the students to shy away from current events. Uh-huh. I mean, can't I do that? Oh, it's not letting me do the undo. From memory, you say? Well, okay. I'm pretty sure it looked something like this. And like it had like little grabby things coming off the corners. And also, it had angry eyes. Right? And like then we could also like do a little shading on this side right here. Give it some depth, you know, some 3D appearance. And then it's also saying something about Common Core and how it's infecting our kids with that. Something to that effect. Is that old hat? Like, I don't know if anyone's complaining about that anymore. That's probably they've moved on. Oh, that's right. That's no one would be, that's not what they would be talking about now. Hold on. Of course. There we go. That's current events. That's keeping up with the times. I think this is what I handed in. See, this is the mutated form after it's been exposed to the 5G. Professor loves it. Professor is like, yeah, the 5G is gonna kill us. I'm gonna post this on my YouTube channel. How did I get here today? Man, it's a deep question. How did I get here today? How far back do I need to think about to consider what the course of events were that brought me to where I am right now, right here today? Am I just thinking about today, or am I thinking about yesterday, or last week, or last month, or last year, or everything in my life which led up to what I'm doing here and now? What is the thing that I attribute to me getting here today? Well, I suppose we could be a bit more whimsical with it. Man, this is barely legible. Like, basically, I was thinking about... Actually, I don't know what I was thinking. It's like someone jumping into a monitor and it says internet on it. And so we're in the internet. I don't know what I was trying to draw, actually. It's like... I'm not actually anywhere. I'm just like sitting here. But technically I'm also with you. all at the same time. So how did we get here today? Well, I just jumped both feet first into this wonderful thing called the internet. And then, like, here is a cable going out to the planet Earth, right? And, like this, these are all the stars. We're in the cosmos, maybe? Is that what we're doing here? Like, we're in the universe, I think? Like, here's the sun down here. And, like, here's like a moon. It's over there. And so we're just, like, flying through the universe, and I'm jumping into a big monitor saying internet. And I guess that's how I got here today, Professor. And that's an A. What does heaven and heck look like? It's deep, Prof. That is real deep. But as for right now, maybe we should take a little bit of a break as we ponder what the afterlife might look like. You know, the greatest philosophers in human history have wondered, what does heaven look like? And what does heck? And is Froshmin really the one who is going to solve this? Who is going to figure out what heaven might look like? And heck? Well, I mean, if we're going to do that, I guess we need to, you know, separate the canvas into two. And I mean, probably there's really only one thing. Well, we want to label them, of course. We want to make sure there's no confusion over which one is which. You know what the old philosophers say. They don't believe you're actually being tortured in heck. They believe that heck is just simply the absence of God's love. So it's not like it's something that there's something physically bad there. It's rather the absence of something. And so, in heaven, there is pizza. In heck, there is not. There are no demons there to torture you, no flames to burn your skin. There just is no pizza. And there we go. The professor approves my vision of the afterlife. Draw something that would make people mad in a museum. If someone saw... Okay, so not mad in general, but just like if someone saw it in a museum specifically, what would make them mad? What would make someone mad in a museum? Something specific. So what would make someone in a museum specifically angry to see? Does this mean a piece of artwork that would hang in the museum that would make people mad? Or just the concept of something that makes people in museums angry? I'm interpreting this as if I were to draw a piece of artwork and this was hung up in a museum and people in the museum saw it, that they would become mad. That's how I am interpreting this, but I guess it's not the only interpretation of what the professor could be asking about. I mean, anything I draw could always have some sort of interpretation of meaning, despite any lack of skill involved. So I don't know if that would really make people mad. Of course, we've all seen and heard of modern art pieces that seemed kind of silly, that apparently, you know, just were fine to hang in a museum because there was some sort of meaning behind them, or supposedly. But if someone just walked by and saw my painting hanging in this museum, and then they just look at that and say, what the hell? What is the meaning of this? What do you think that would be? I mean, clearly just replicating the mundane would not be something that would cause anger. You think of, you know, like that, there were certainly famous paintings that represent mundane things. Like the can of Campbell's soup. Or the painting of the pipe. You know the pipe. This is not a pipe, that pipe. You can have fine art that represent the mundane. I was about to say, what if, like, I don't know, like Sonic the Hedgehog and Bugs Bunny were doing it? But, I mean, you could consider that to be challenging, relevant artwork of our times that is challenging your perceptions of what is acceptable to hang in a museum. And, like, it would have some sort of validity because of that. And you know, lack of skill doesn't necessarily mean that it wouldn't hang in a museum. Like, if you think about it, I mean, I think that we all agree Tails Gets Trolled is one of the greatest works of comic art of the modern day. And, like, that artwork's not very good. You could easily take a panel from Tails Gets Trolled and hang it in a museum. You could definitely do that. So, if you were to put this in a museum and someone saw it, what would make them mad? Why would they get mad? What is the thing that you could draw that someone would look at and say, well, that has to not have any sort of artistic validity whatsoever? I don't see how it could be possible for there to be any sort of artistic meaning or anything I should be getting from this. It's just wasting space on this wall. Something that would make people mad in a museum. Well, maybe... Okay, so, like, we would... that's actually not the one I wanted. So, like, maybe we would have... Okay, so this would be, like, the painting. Here's, like, the frame, right? So we have the frame, and then on the frame is like a giant phone, and there's like a camera on the phone, and the person who is looking at the artwork is being shown on the phone. Right? And let's see. So the person is being shown on there. And then what? And then what? And what could you do to make some like you could have like a dick pissing on it, but like that would be rebellious, right? It would challenge your perceptions. So technically that could be artistic. I don't think that would Maybe the only thing we could do is say this never turns off, because that, maybe that would make someone mad, because they want all the damn kids to turn their phones off when they're in the museum, but now they walk by this and it says right there, this phone never turns off. This phone in the museum will be on all the time, and you cannot do anything about that. This is how it's gonna be. And like the person looking at it is gonna be like, does not like that. And, maybe? The professor did not like it. Well, maybe I just made the professor mad. Maybe I made the professor angry with my artwork, and that just proves the validity of my artwork. Well, we know what the professor wants. The professor likes it when we splash some dots in the background, it just wants us to use a bit more color than we have been. Sometimes that's all the professor really wants. No, even lower grade this time. Professor's very angry at this one. Well, let's just go right back in. There we go. Draw music. Let's see. How do I want to interpret music? So it's kind of hard to tell what that is. But what it is... Actually, let me... fix that up like this. What this is, it's a lot of hair that someone is headbanging and they're whipping it up and down. And that's the visual representation of music that we're doing here. And there we go. What am I afraid of, and why? What am I afraid of? Generally, when you think about what you're afraid of, it has more to do with concepts than really physical objects. So, how would you? I mean, trying to interpret some sort of concept as a visual thing can be difficult. Oh, but actually, yes, that does remind me that the chat did just a few minutes ago did show me something that was very fearsome. So I guess I don't need to think about this too much. I guess I already have my answer. This was something that I just was made aware of myself. And it is indeed terrifying. So what we're doing here, of course, is the Kirby Funko Pop, who did an incredible job of somehow taking all sort of cuteness and appeal away from Kirby, as they made him like a weird cube with dead eyes and no mouth, completely incapable of expressing joy. Actually, yeah, the eyes I've drawn here are more expressive than they are on the actual Funko Pop. I need to fix that. We just need to make just completely black pits. And he's like kind of cube-shaped, which is weird. You wouldn't think that like making a circle would be difficult. But that's what it is, and I guess we're just going to draw like a dark background to illustrate the darkness of Funko Kirby. And to illustrate that, of course, Funko Kirby could come for you at any time. You're never safe from Funko Kirby. The professor is also afraid of Funko Kirby. Is time real or just a construct? It's time to draw. Yeah? good enough, I guess. Draw backwards. The concept of backwards? Draw the back. Okay, so maybe it could be something like this. No, not that tool. No, not that one either. This tool, and this color. Maybe it could be draw something like this, possibly. This isn't the right color, but close enough, I guess. Kind of hard to. That's really should be. We're seeing from Bahak. It's kind of hard to tell. So we're seeing the back of Bruce Wayne's loyal ward, Dick Grayson. It's not a great image. Like, I could have done better on that. But still, I think we are seeing the back of this ward. And of course, as we do know, the professor does like us when we like color in the background a bit. He does enjoy that. Yeah, there we go. A self-portrait without looking at the paper. Alright, that shouldn't be a problem. Whoops. I mean, I don't have a paper to begin with. I mean, I guess it means don't look at the screen. So if I'm not looking at the screen, I guess it would have to be something like this. Well, close enough. You really like the composition on this one, but just could not give me a passing grade. Maybe if we did multiple colors here to increase the variety. There it is. Is he going to die? Well, And just make it kind of colorful. Did not appreciate the message, I guess. Alright, well, let's remove this then. And maybe he'll appreciate the emotion of this one more. And there it is. Just wanted, you know, a little bit of a different mood on this piece.
Congratulations, you have completed our goal. Good luck in the real world. I'm sure you do fine. I'm sure you do fine.
But can't I just stay in art school my whole life and not have to go to the real world? Because maybe we won't do fine. Maybe all of the training we went through at art school, maybe it'll be for nothing. Since, I mean, it's not what you know, but who you know. And did we really make any of the valuable networks and contacts that you're supposed to make at school? There was no one else here. No one else on the campus. We didn't make any friends. We didn't make any acquaintances. So we're gonna go out into the world and just you won't know anyone. I mean, we have this piece of paper from the school, but how much is that worth? How much? Maybe Froshmin is going to learn that maybe the cost of art school wasn't worth the money, and maybe we won't do fine in the real world. Maybe Froshmin will have to give up their dreams of becoming an artist and just have to get a desk job. Maybe that's just fate. Maybe that's just destiny. Not everyone can be a successful artist, but everyone can pay money for art school. They'll take your money, even if not everyone can be a success. Well, I guess that is our time with art school. Froshmin enjoyed their time. I think we all enjoyed our time, though Froshmin did express some doubts at the end. How is Froshmin going to turn out? I guess that's just for us to think about and maybe draw. Maybe draw. That's going to be it for art school.